Hi, it's Carolyn here with this week's Swiss travel tip. Today I wanted to talk about luggage and taking luggage on the trains because I know many of you will be travelling around Switzerland by train. When it comes to luggage, there's no actual weight limits like there is with the airlines. However, you do need to be able to manage your luggage yourself. There are no luggage porters at Swiss railway stations, so the luggage you bring, you'll be responsible for getting on and off the trains, changing platforms, and so on. So my suggestion is don't bring any luggage that is too large. A medium suitcase is a great idea. It's much more manageable and you'll find it easier to store it once you're on board. And we'll talk about that in a moment. At the stations, there are always steps, but you will find that there's always either an elevator or a ramp or both. So if you do need to change platforms or get from the main ticketing area of the main entrance of the station down to a lower level or an upper level, there's always an elevator or a ramp. Now, when it comes to getting on board the train and taking your luggage, to store it, you'll find a few different options. When you board the coach or the carriage, there is nearly always a multi-level luggage rack inside the door. And that's a great place to store your luggage. However, if you're getting on mid-journey or somewhere between where the train originated and where it's heading to, it can often be difficult to find space there because passengers that have boarded the train earlier than you have already taken up all that space. So inside the carriage itself, there's often an overhead rack where you can put smaller items. This isn't always the case on the panoramic trains because that would then obstruct the view from the panoramic windows. But overhead racks are often there. And another place to store your luggage is between the back of the seats of trains. It can be a bit, it's not quite as obvious as a place to store your luggage because we tend not to look down between the seats when we get onto a train, but do keep that in mind. There's a article on holidaysto-switzerland.com about using the trains, and it's got all our luggage tips in it as well, along with some photos of suitcases stored between the backs of seats. So if you want to know more about that, check out the article, which I will link to below. There are luggage shipping services in Switzerland that the Swiss Railways operate. So if you're interested in finding out more about those, have a look at the official website sbb.ch. You can have luggage shipped from station to station or even from hotel to hotel. There's different time frames as to when your luggage will reach the destination, and different prices according to the service that you book. But these can be a great idea if you are traveling on a larger trip, and perhaps Switzerland is just one of the countries that you're visiting and you've got to bring a lot of luggage, but you don't need it all whilst you're in Switzerland. Maybe you'd like to ship some of your luggage to your final Swiss destination, or perhaps you are stopping off along the way on your journey that particular day and you don't want to have your luggage with you. You might want to have it shipped ahead. Another great option if you want to store luggage short term, perhaps if you're just stopping somewhere, hopping off the train to have a look around and do a bit of sightseeing and have some lunch before resuming your journey again. Most of the stations have lockers, which are fantastic. Different prices depending on where you are and the size of the locker, but I've used these many times and they're great. If you don't want to be dragging your suitcase around while you're going into town to have some lunch or to go and look at a particular site in the town, they're a fantastic option. So these are just some of the tips to be aware of when you're traveling in Switzerland. Again, I recommend that you don't bring a suitcase that's too large, because a smaller suitcase definitely makes traveling with it on the trains much more manageable. As I said, I'll link to that traveling by train article below, where you'll find lots more information about using the public transport system in Switzerland. And I'll be back next week with another Swiss travel tip. Bye.